First conjugation, pluperfect tense to London Bridge, because they made an error when they were making the London Bridge, and it was going to fall down. So it starts with arum. Arum, eros, erat, aramis, eratis, erant. First conjugation, pluperfect tense. Arum, eros, erat, aramis, eratis, erant. First conjugation, pluperfect tense. Timeline, week 21, we're going to start with World War II and President Roosevelt. So we're going to do W's for war, and put 2 up, World War II. And President Roosevelt, you're going to cross those two fingers for an R. So President Roosevelt. Then we have Stalin, so we're going to make an S, which is a fist with their thumb in the front. Stalin of the USSR. And the Katyn Massacre, we're going to slice some necks. Eek. And the Katyn Massacre. Then the United Nations formed. We use this for history. We're going to link our hands together. United Nations formed. The Cold War is really cold, so let's rub our arms for Cold War. Then we have the Gandhi and India's independence. So Gandhi, we're going to put our hands like this and kind of do a little bow. Gandhi and India's independence. Put our finger on the forehead. Next, we have the Jewish state established. You're going to take your flat hand and you're going to go across and down for the Jewish state established. And then finally, we have Mao and communist victory in China. And we're going to do our samurai swords. So Mao and communist victory in China. All right, let's do that all together. We have World War II and President Franklin D. Roosevelt. Stalin of the USSR and the Katyn Massacre. The United Nations formed. The Cold War. Gandhi and India's independence. Jewish state established. Mao and communist victory in China. English, a conjunction. A conjunction is a word used to connect words, phrases, or clauses together. We're going to sing I've Been Working on the Railroad, and we're going to take this into the conjunctions for next week as well. So, a conjunction is a word used to connect words, phrases, or clauses together. A conjunction is a word used to connect words, phrases, or clauses together. Week 21, science. What is the third law of thermodynamics? The third law of thermodynamics explains that it is impossible to reach the state of absolute zero temperature. We're going to continue our Hokey Pokey song from the previous 2 weeks of thermodynamics. What is the third law of thermodynamics? The third law of thermodynamics explains why it is impossible to reach a state of absolute zero temperature. Math, associative law for addition states, open parentheses, a plus b, close parentheses, plus c equals a plus, open parentheses, b plus c, close parentheses. Associative law for multiplication states, open parentheses, a times b, close parentheses, times c, equals a times, open parentheses, b times c. We're going to chant that, and when we get to the parentheses, we're going to clap, okay? So associative law for addition. A plus b plus c equals a plus b plus c. A plus b plus c equals a plus b plus c. Associative law for multiplication. A times b times c equals a times b times c. A times b times c equals a times b times c. We have week 21, history. Tell me about the Cold War. In 1980s, British Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher and American President Ronald Reagan worked together to end the Cold War, lessen big government, and strengthen the conservative movement. So we're going to start with a sign language 80, which is your middle finger like this. That's an 8, and put them all down together to make a 0, 80. All right. In 1980s, British Prime Minister, so prime would be like the top, so we're going to point to our head, prime, and then we're going to do an M out to the side for minister, Prime Minister, and we're going to do Margaret Thatcher for an M, Margaret Thatcher. Then American President, we're going to grab our head like American President. Ronald Reagan is the R's, Ronald Reagan. They worked together, so put our hands together, work together to end the Cold War. We used that in timeline this week. And to lessen big government, bring our hands down, and to strengthen the conservative movement. Let's do that with music. In the 1980s, British Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher and American President Ronald Reagan worked together to end the war, lessen big government, and strengthen the conservative movement. In the 1980s, British Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher and American President Ronald Reagan worked together to end the war, lessen big government, strengthen the conservative movement. Geography. We're going to start over here with Guatemala. Guatemala kind of sounds a little bit like guacamole, so we're going to make some guacamole this week. In our guacamole, you usually put some cilantro leaves, but we didn't have any, so we're going to use some bay leaves for Belize. So guacamole, bay leaves. We're going to take our guacamole to our friend Mr. El Salvador. Mr. El Salvador, he fixes doors, so we're going to take our Honda to him to fix the door, Honduras. Our Honda door has a Nick in it, Nicaragua. So let's go make our Guatemala guacamole. We're going to add our bay leaves and take them to Mr. El Salvador to fix our Honda that has a Nick in it, Nicaragua. Guatemala, Belize, El Salvador, Honduras, Nicaragua.